Hello, YouTube. Actually, this week I'm on vacation slash honeymoon and will be for the next couple of weeks. So I've done some videos ahead of time so that there's still more content being added to the channel. And this video is essentially my what could be done better for Beta 2. Now, I have to say, overall, I'm very impressed with Frontier in the release cycle and all of the things, as far as I'm concerned, they've gotten right. Thus far, they have a very solid game as far as core game play mechanics go. Trading, bounty hunting, flight model, all of those things. Netcode has gotten better than Premium Beta 2. Still not perfect, but whenever is netcode perfect? But it's pretty good. Uh, Things are a little less stable for me, but I never did get into an Anaconda in Premium Beta 2. But things like missiles crash me out consistently, no matter if I'm flying an Anaconda or a Lakon Viper. If I fire more than a couple missiles, I tend to crash to desktop. So there's some things like that that certainly need to be addressed, but they're aware of it. Support tickets have been filed and by multiple people. So they're aware of the situation, and that'll probably get fixed. But my biggest gripe overall has been the implementation of the group system. Again, I'm much pleased to have groups that try to, and friends list, that try to group us together in the same instances. It makes trying to meet up and fly together a lot less frustrating. That being said, there's some things that could be done a lot better, like the ability to accept a friend's request from inside the game engine without having to go back to the main control panel and the main menu to manage your friends list. That would be great. Um, what else? Oh, um, the fact that there's no friend or foe recognition on the HUD right now. So you get into an instance together, and you see all of these other PvP ships. If there's 4 or 5 of us flying around together, and they all appear the same as a neutral NPC or a neutral PvP player. So you see somebody deploy the hard points, you don't know if, hey, is that my buddy over here deploying his hard points just because? Or is it a new contact who's getting ready to fight one of us? It would be nice that if friends or people who are in the same groups as you show up in different colors, whether that's pink or blue or green or purple or brown or some other shades, coral. I don't really care, but they would just be nice if there was some sort of friend or foe designation. And that's something else that would be nice, would be able to mark um, people who are being really, well, douchebags, and mark them as such, as always hostile. So if you end up with an instance and with them, you can tell instantly, hey, um, that's a bad guy. Now, I could understand keeping context as neutral until you scan them. And once they scan them and it turns out to be your friend, um, then they are marked as your friend. But I could understand that having a bogey until you confirm hostile or friendly. I think that would be cool. And I think that would be a great gameplay mechanic. Yes, you still have to scan the person to make sure, get a commander ID and ID them. But once they have an ID, if they are on your friends list, it should change color, in my humble opinion. I have a feeling that'll probably be coming in Beta 2, Beta 3, or Gamma in a further release cycle. But that's probably my single largest complaint about the game right now. The second complaint is combat logging, but they're also aware of that issue. Look for a countdown timer later on. Although, to be fair with people, I don't know who's actually combat logging and who are combat crashing, because I tend to combat crash a lot, especially flying the Anaconda or anything with missiles. Or if somebody has a bunch of missiles and fires a barrage, I've seen all 4 of us in Anacondas crash to desktop at the same time. So those are game bugs that need to be fixed. Hopefully we'll see a more dynamic economy. You can affect prices a little bit, like we've in Test Mostly Harmless, the group that I fly with, and Elite Dangerous. We've loaded up a trade convoy of several Lakon Type 6s and 9s, gone from one system to another, and successfully crashed the market for good, just to see if we could. Something else, scaling police responses. We've gone to neutral nav points, started killing everything in sight in order to invoke a police response, and the police response we got was relatively anemic. I mean, if we're sitting there with a fleet of 4 Anaconda and 5 Vipers, and you're sending just an Anaconda and a couple Eagles after us, that's not going to end well for the NPCs you tried to send to kill us. I guess if you were in a Viper or a couple of Eagles and you sent in an Anaconda to deal with a situation, NPC, that might be more of a threat. But as it stands right now, the police response is anemic, which brings us to kind of my final point, and that is around certain stations, if you fire in the no-fire zone, you don't get flagged unless you actually hit the station. So this is leading to a lot of griefing and, people being douchebags around Freeport, So sometimes you got to go in there, and some people are being white knights, others aren't. Sometimes it just depends on the mood. I have a pretty strict policy of if somebody's in a Viper or a Cobra, or any ship really, and starts facing towards my Anaconda or my Lycon, my weapon points are deploying and I'm lighting you up. Sorry, I've waited too long, enough times that somebody takes advantage of it, and I'm just to that kind of DayZ shoot on sight mentality. And I guess one other thing would be the ability to mark players as hostile, and continue them to be as such. Consider it an anti-friends list, a marked targets list, however you want to call it, but you scan them, and if you've run into them before and marked them as belligerent, they would appear as red automatically on your scanner or on your HUD. Whether or not you'd be free to engage or not, you might still get bounties in the system, but you'd be free. You'd at least know that, hey, you fought against this guy before, you don't like him, let's go kill him again. So those are kind of my biggest gripes and complaints. Again, not a whole lot to complain about. I really like where things are heading. Cannons need to be addressed. I look for them to slightly lessen the amount of damage they do per shot, and also to severely limit their amount of ammunition. I could very well see us only getting 25, 30 rounds per gun as opposed to 2,000. 2,000 is just too much. I think probably 25 may be too little, maybe 50 to 75 rounds, similar to the number of reloads you get with multi-cannons. I think that's 15 reloads. So I think that would be around 75 rounds. I think that would be a fair number. We'll see where they go on that. But those are the minor things. Again, if you like this and other content, and there's more content even while I'm on vacation to be released. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, like, subscribe, and share. Let other people know about my videos. I think by the time this video is released, at well over 150 subscribers now, and approaching 20,000 channel views, which I was never expecting, so it's great. Hope to continue on doing this in my spare time, and hope you all enjoy it. So, until I'm back from vacation and hopefully playing Beta 2, take care, be safe, have fun.